All right. Shalom, shalom. Before we begin, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak, Kadash, Bishop Akim Bilazil. We out here again doing the work as our Lord and Savior command us to do. We just get into it, man. Like we can see the climate with the society, and well, on a general global scale, we can see the climate, man. And it's what a build-up tension between these nations, because all this is leading to what prophecy, man. We know we're living in the end times, and these people, you know, they consist of folly and mirth, man. They think this society is going to be a perpetual one. Also, I just saw information that they're recruiting senior citizens, man, and they're giving them a $70,000 or $75,000 sign-on bonus to join the army, man. So they're gonna know they're gonna need this event that's gonna take place, which is the third woe. They're gonna need every able body to participate, man. You know, that's why they're setting policies, try to make it more inviting for senior citizens to even join the military, man. You know, so they know they're gonna, and they also pass legislation where between the ages of what 18 to 26 or something like that, if I ain't mistaken, you're automatically signed up for the draft, man. So if you're between those ages, automatically, man, you're signed up. If a war break out, you're signed up. So why you think these people are passing policies like that? Because they know something is coming around the corner, man. Then you see also there was talks about, you know, this dude in the administration right now had bombed, you know, they said they made it official that the United States is in this Iran Israeli state conflict, man. So they already made it not too long ago, like what, last week, a couple of days ago, they made it official that they're involved in this so-called war, man. And people know that, you know. So they think this place right here, and you got these people with their simple mentality, they're just worried about their everyday comings and goings, not knowing these things that happen on a global scale directly affects them. But they don't see the effects right now. It's just like the ripple effect. Something, you know, a stone is dropped in a pond, the ripple is not there, but gradually you're gonna feel that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the state we're in, man. You know, and these people around here, man, they don't care, especially these damn simple Negroes, man. They don't care, man. They all about this nigga culture, deaf culture. Thinking they trying to run game on especially another so-called black guy or black person. That's what these simple niggas is. They think they're gonna trying to run game on you. Like only one slow is these niggas, man. You know, especially these certain females, man. You know, they think they're gonna run game on you like you something. You know, like, get the hell out of here, man. Cause they see what mentality you in, the lifestyle these people living in. It's old, man. It's played out. They think it's something new. You know, so us over here, we are wise to the folly that you people are involved in, man. You know, but nonetheless, forget you know, Salakia for that little rant. But yeah, that's the stages where we're coming into. What? Also there was talks about that every country in the I guess the United Nations or whatever, they came to vote, or I don't know if it was the United Nations or some global vote. I got to go back into it, but I heard some a couple of sources. You know, I don't know if it was generally the United Nations or it was more or less all the countries on the global scale voted. All the countries voted that food and water, to say the least, was a human right. They said only 2 countries voted no. They said who They say you won't believe which countries it were. And they say it was the United States and the fake Israeli state, man. Those were the two countries that was in oppositions or voted no to a basic necessity, which is food and water, man. So that's why right now we're coming upon those days, man, where what? A famine, man. And these people ain't gonna care about you, man. They're not gonna care about your basic needs. So what if like say for instance, a natural disaster, if that take place over here, they opposed to it, man. The government over here opposed to what? Food and water as a basic necessity, man, as a human right, man. So these you can tell. And also there was like I don't know, I can't think of the organization, but it's some safety net organization that pretty much monitors civic, rights and stuff like that. They said the United States is in alert because they say they see the civic or the civil rights that this place on the global scale, now on the national scale, is in a crisis, man. You know what I'm saying? So this United States that these people tend to believe that is, oh, this is a place for prosperity, equality, and on the global scale, it's not. But these people want to still believe and live in a facade of a fake American dream, man. Because right now, why you see things progress because they're trying to set up these class wars. That's why they have these weirdos walking the streets, and then they trying to blend them in with these coons and they slave master trying to act like they're civilized in society, and then everybody else, especially a strong as these pale-faced monkeys see a strong black person, they try to put you in a category as one of these low lives or lunatics. You know what I'm saying? Why these coons that they have every day kissing their ass, you can see them. They're in the administration right now. In this administration right now. That's how these Negroes around here able to progress in society by what? Kissing these pale-faced monkeys' ass in a false sense of narrative of equality. But that's what they're building here, especially here in Babylon the Great, aka America, some type of class war. You know what I'm saying? They're in their classes, these coons in their class, and these pale-faced monkeys in their class. Everybody else is however they want to portray you to be, man. But like I said, nonetheless, they want to give off that fake facade because they're allowing certain people, along with these certain foreigners the progress here in Babylon the Great, because they picking and choosing to give off this fake image of the American dream, man. But nonetheless, we can see that this place is coming to an end, man. The whole lot of wickedness is going on, perversion is going on, corruption is going on. This guy pretty much is untrustworthy, but he's still your sitting president, man. If anybody had a track record nowhere near this guy, everybody be trying to get this person out of there, man. Like, he's the image of America. But see, that's the reason why they're not pushing to get this guy out of here like that. You know why? Because Trump, he's the idea. I mean, he's the image of white privilege, man. He's that image, man. I could do what I want to do. SA, I ain't gonna say it, but SA accusations. Not even accusations, they're facts. There's information out there. Him himself is admitted to this stuff, man. Fraud cases, corruption, 34 felony counts, but yet this dude still your sitting president. Anybody else had the slightest scandals that this guy's wrapped up in, they be trying to push to get all of them, both parties. They be trying to push to get this dude out of there, man. Especially if it was a so-called black guy or a person of color or a minority, as they call it. You know, that person, he or she, whoever they may be, wouldn't stand a chance. But you can tell this society is still what? In the hands of who? These devils, man. This is their society. What, regardless of how they try to project it, this is their society, man. You know, they want to give off some false narrative of equality, but who still own the financial institutions, the banks, you know, the mortgage, the mortgage, your mortgage institutions, man, your bank institutions, wherever you got your food, you know, your food processing places, man. You know, they kept the livestock. Who owns it, man? But they want to act like it's an even playing field. We all about equality, diversity, and all this crap. Oh, that is a facade, an American dream, man. You know, and these coons around here willing to live it up because what they giving them their little crumbs. These coon niggas around here. And whenever they master need them, they come around trying to cause confusion and disruption, knowing more than likely their master gonna um, side with them, you know, because a lot of them are just set up, and that's part of their bargain. We're gonna throw you some crumbs. Now you got to do what we say. You know, cause a confusion, disruption amongst other so-called people that look similar to them, because these people are not, regardless of their skin complexion, they're not my people, man. You know, but according to these pale-faced monkeys, so it's a benefit for them to claim a color, but it's not a benefit when you can't. You know what I mean? They put you in a category as a color. It's not a benefit to you. You know, it's more of a disadvantage. But but to them to be classified as a color, it's an advantage. That's why they be classified as so-called white is an advantage, and be classified as black or any other color is a disadvantage. That's why they go along with it.
Yeah, I was making a lesson more or less in with this situation yesterday. But that's how this devil. That's the whole issue with Esau. He he's above the law, basically lawless. You know, he's the law. They the lawless ones, the devil, and even in their society, they're above the law. And the law to a beneficial matter like the constitutional rights. You know, for itself, the so-called justice system is not for you; it's for them. And I was doing a lesson stating that, and that's how that's the whole issue because he don't. The law doesn't. When the separate clean white man applies the law, he doesn't apply it to everyone equally, man. Just like the 14th Amendment says, you know, that all people are equal under the law, basically, man. You know, under the constitutional law. That's the whole issue with this devil. And separate is not, and being separate is not a bad thing, but it's the problem was how the law was being given and applied to every race. This devil is above the law, and the law only benefits him. You know, they were the so-called Negro man, Latino, Native American. You're three fifths of a man under the laws of the so-called separate plain white man, Esau. So that was his problem, man. This devil don't do things equal, but the Lord said there's no respect of person when it comes to the law, man. You know, so he don't respect anybody when it comes to his laws, man. You know, but I got a precept. This is Psalms 10:1. It says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord Yahweh? Why hidest thou thy face in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined." So that's what's going to happen to these devils, man. You know, they imagine devices, schemes. That word device goes into schemes, you know, and they got literal devices also, mechanisms that they use, man, because that's what the Lord blessed these devils with, you know. That was a part of Esau's blessing. But these devils, they plot against the just, right? Like as the scripture says, man, you know, and that's what the laws that they bring out, these unrighteous decrees that they proclaim, you know, they persecute the poor with these things. Verse 3, "For the wicked boast in his heart's desire and bless the covetous. whom the Lord abhors, right? So that's what these devils do, man. They side with the wicked. That's why these Edomites side with these wicked niggas, man. You know. And also there's a scripture that says when he seeth a thief, he consent with him, or something to that effect. So when these devils, just like they helped the Babylonians, just like these devils, these Edomites helped the Babylonians take down the southern kingdom, these devils helped them, just like these fucking devils help these wicked ass 2/3 niggas, man. You know, these they have ghetto informants, you know, agent provocateurs, and a lot of them be niggas, man. They were just, like I said, well, shit. I put this video up that they were this so-called black man. He was an informer for the FBI, and while he was watching black activity, man, like these pro-black groups, the Black Panthers, the Civil Rights era, you know, things like that. He was helping spy for the so-called white man, man. And that guy said he said you'll be basically amazed at how many niggas that work for the government against their people, man. You know, and it's only getting worse, man. So that's what these niggas are doing. They help us, like the scripture says. I'm gonna read it verse 3 again. Psalms 10:3 says, "For the wicked boast in his heart's desire, he blesses the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth," man. You know, these covetous ass niggas, they want something that you got. These devils help them, man. He assisting these devils. These Edomites, they assist in helping these wicked ass 2/3 niggas and getting what you got, man. Cause these niggas ain't nothing but haters. They covetous. They thrive off spite, envy, and hatred. That's how these 2/3 niggas thrive, man. That's the characteristics of these Edomites. Verse 4 says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So these devils don't apply what the Lord applies, right? They don't live by the laws of the Lord, you know. They don't live by the laws of the Lord, man. You know, and these 2/3 niggas, that's who they help. They can go and yap they fucking mouth, you know, and these devils will help these punk ass niggas, you know, and vice versa. These niggas get caught up in the so-called white man's world, his society, get caught up with crimes, and what he do. Now you work for me. Now make all your crimes disappear. You know, they got these ghetto informants. You got them agent provocateurs, watching, spying. You know, it's nothing new. Playing witchcraft games, and like that's all a distraction to the actuality of what's going on in the world, what's going on in society. It's all a distraction, man. These devils playing games, mind games, acting like that's a game. You know, just like I brought that scripture, in the Apocrypha. You know, our pastime is a game to these devils, man. So that's how it is. These devils acting like looking at life like it's a game. They playing these witchcraft games, but the severity, this guy Trump is about to bring in these tariffs this month, man. Meaning prices about to go up. They already said the price of beef is at the all-time high. Now all these other prices that you see in your grocery store items, they're gonna go higher and even higher, man. You know, these tariffs are gonna bring price increase, man.
I got a precept. This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 8. It says, "But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. Knowing this, the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for the sinners, for unholy and profane." Who is more profane than Esau, man?
Yeah, Hebrews chapter 12.
For murderers of fathers, and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, meaning what? These alphabet groups. That's what this place here, Babylon the Great. And you got this fake Israeli state saying that, you know, they're proclaiming that they're the people of the Bible, but they have a day designated for these alphabet people. But the Lord said what? It's an abomination for a man to lay down with man, or a woman to lay down with woman. But in the fake Israeli state, they have a day to celebrate, designated to celebrate this type of lifestyle, man. But they want to profess that they're the people of the Bible. Repeat that again. First Timothy, the book of First Timothy, the book of First Timothy, chapter 1, verse 10, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for man stealers. Who's that? Esau. Or men stealers in bondage, man. You know, for men stealers, for liars, Esau. For perjured person, I'm saying that all wrong. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, man, perjured, it's lucky. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, that includes to these other camps that are going off, man, that are not teaching the word properly, basically going against what our elders teach, man. You know, all these other camps, they are remnants, or less to say the least, extensions of the primary camp, man. They got the teachers, then some of them then they fell off and they started their own thing, man. But those that are teaching contrary to sound doctrine, man, what our elders, what the teachers teach, man, mainly the MOTB. A lot of them trying to say that it's not the microchip, man. That's not teaching sound doctrine, man. You know. So that's what the law is for, man. This society in general, ran by Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is a lawless society, man. Because this devil, he knows he has the book. But what did he do? He cast it behind him, man. He forsook the laws, man. You know. But this is what the law was for. The law wasn't for the righteous. You know, it was for what? Sinners of disobedience. Basically everyone. Mainly, the law was let me put it like this. It was for Israel. But it's gonna in the kingdom, it's gonna be applied to everyone, man. You know, let me put it like that before somebody say something. But the laws were made primarily for the nation of Israel, man. You know. But in the kingdom, it's gonna be applied to everyone, man, all the nations. You know. But right now, we're living in a lawless society, man. This devil don't honor the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, man. These people try to profess that they're the people of the Bible, but you can see their actions contradicts what the scripture says, man. You know, they said they're gonna be peace once Israel. How long they been there? Since what, 1940 something? And they haven't reached the pinnacle of peace yet. They said once Israel, once Yahweh Shai placed the nation of Israel that consists of all 12 tribes in that part of the back in that landmass, which is our portion. there will be peace on earth, man. But all you see is what? Conflict, wars. What's going on now? There's a war between the fake Israeli state and Iran, man. So there's no peace there. They're not fulfilling prophecy, man. They're they're Satan, man. You know, they're adverse to the Most High, man. These people are not they're not the lowest. They're not the lowest chosen people as they trying to profess. Yeah, they're adverse to the Most High, man. You know. So like, let me get. Let's get the book of Romans 7:12. This is a precept. It says, "Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good," man. So everything that's in this book that the Lord professed us to obey, said these things will come to pass, they are just and good, man. So we should what? Obey the Most High, not men. So we're not following the culture, the lifestyle of this devil, man. You know, like I said, he's passing laws, for example, to protect. Even though this current administration tried to, you know, they got to throw something in a twist so they won't be all the way perverse, man. So they'll say, "Oh, now we against like this." That's the only thing this devil and this administration can say more than less is correct. That he said, "Yeah, we're taking men out of women's sports." We for that. We understand that. All this a guy waking up claiming that I feel like I want to be a woman today, and get in the ring and beat the hell out of a woman, man. And just because he can't compete on a man-on-man level, but he can get in the ring and I mean, wake up and say, "Hey, I identify as a woman today," and then get in the ring and box and beat the hell out of a woman, man. You know, that's Esau Edom, man. That's him. That's his lifestyle, man. You know, like I said, they got laws protecting that, man. Even though, like I said, the only thing I can say this administration is doing, and which I agree, is what? Taking those weirdos out of there, man. So they won't look all the way bad. Listen. Because they know there's something wrong with that, man. You know, they know that ain't right, man. A female cannot compete on a level as a man, man. I'm gonna say like this: when it comes to strength or anything, not to say a woman can't be strong, but on a level as a man, hell no, man. But yet this society condones this lifestyle, man. You know, but nonetheless, like we were saying, well, like I was saying, the Lord is preparing for his what? Return, man. You can see that's why these things going on. And to say this, there was this devil, you know, they be playing these little mind games, like they have these coons off the strength of these their master, these pale-faced monkeys, trying to convince these coons they got something involved with us. Like I said, to these monkeys, we all the same because we got dark skin. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's a benefit for them to be classified as white. You at a disadvantage to be classified as black as a totality, right? So these monkeys convince these coons that they're on the same level or we the same. So whatever you know, thinking through this MK Ultra, Simon and sorcery, witchcraft, mind games that's controlled by these devils, which we've been recognized, we know we exist. These devils telling you they have this type of technology, but when you speak, a lot of these nincompoop imbeciles trying to act like, oh, you speaking some conspiracy theory. You not quite tight upstairs, but due to their lack of knowledge, these devils are literally telling you they got these devices, this equipment. But nonetheless, we get to the point. They had these coons ride by trying to act like, you know, because we bringing the truth out, they're acting like, oh, nothing's supposed to happen. That's what they're saying. Oh, nothing's supposed to happen because we're bringing a spotlight on these issues. They're acting like we complain about it. We're complaining that, oh, these things shouldn't happen. No, we are telling you, like we're prophesying. We know these things are going to happen, but we're telling you beforehand because what these now, because that's what it is now. Starting with our elders and our teachers, they've been prophesying these things was going to happen for decades now, man. But now that these clowns see that they're happening, they're trying to act like, oh, nothing supposed to happen. They playing these mind games as if now we're just saying these things and you see these things happen and they should not happen. No, we're telling just like our elders been telling you way before these events would happen, had happened, that they're going to happen because there won't be no cloak for you sucker sins, man. You know, the Lord said what? To warn an evil or a sinner of his wrongdoing, man. Roughly paraphrasing. That's what we're here for. We're telling you, mainly the nation of Israel, to repent, man. You know, because we know these things are going to happen. We're not saying why these things happen. No, we know these things going to happen, man. And we're telling you beforehand. That's what the term prophesied means. To prophesy is to tell beforehand, man. And what the Lord said, what? Prophesied. There was prophets back in antiquity that prophesied against many nations and great nations, man. You know.
I got a precept before you go on further. Amos 9 and 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake them. Oh man, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Right? So that's how these niggas act, man. They act like, you know, the Lord said all the sinners of my people will die by the sword, man. So he's talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and if your forefather goes back to them looking like the heathen, you look like the heathen, but your forefather go back to a so-called black, Latino, or Native American, you know, he's talking about you, you know. All the people, I'm going to read it again, Amos 9 and verse 10, says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So that's how the mindset of these niggas is. They act like they going about, man, yeah, we here, we cool though. We all right. You know, these fuck niggas. That's their mindset. That's how they go about Samaria. Which I'm gonna go to Amos, still in the same book, but Amos, verse chapter 6 and 1. It says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountain of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. Man. So woe to you. That woe is destruction and misery, man. You know, who are at ease in Zion, so-called Negroes, you at ease in Samaria. Samaria is meaning America, man. You know, you at ease here. You think the evil will not prevent nor overtake nor prevent us, man. You know, that's how they go about America, man. Yeah, they hear what's going on, but I'm gonna be good. You know, you're not gonna be good if you're not the elect of the nation of Israel, man. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because they're a lot of these coon Negroes, man, they're in cahoots with their oppressor, man. These pale-faced monkeys in a process of thinking that they're going to benefit in these monkey society, which we know is their society, regardless of how they're trying to portray it as even playing field. You got the same. That's how a lot of these pale-faced monkeys look. You got this due to this, like the ox said, there's nothing wrong with being separated. You know what I'm saying? With this whole fiasco of integration, now they're trying to act like you're on the same playing field, on the same level field as these pale-faced monkeys. Hell not, man. regardless, say for instance, even if you went to a public school that was integrated, right? These devils still got resources, access to the resources that you don't have because you go to a school, you know, and you got integration where you got these different colors of people that are there. Doesn't mean you have the same or you have access to the same resources, man. You know. So but that's what these devils, especially these coons around here, they actually these Negroes around here actually looking for. These coons, these Negroes around here actually these pale-faced monkeys are actually looking out because they got they select. You see it on news today with this Trump administration, man. These Tim Scotts, you know what I'm saying? These goddamn ex-goddamn players like that. I forgot this nigga name, man. Nigga said he came up talking about they're trying to bring back something about athletic awareness or something. They got these retired or whatever so-called pro wrestlers and
athletes,
pro football players.
Yeah,
they're trying to rally behind sports now. They're trying to have a cause, right? And this nigga got, I forgot this nigga name, but he got up there trying to say, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here to serve you. Who we talking about? Trump. He ain't said the people. He said he here to serve. He ain't here to serve the people. He was here to serve who? Trump. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm here to serve you. I'm here to serve you, master. Whatever you say, master, I'm doing. Like these fucking coon ass niggas, man. And they're trying to equate that to what? Equality, man. See, we're not racist. Look, we got a black ass kisser right here, part of our cabinet. All you gonna do is do what I say. Fucking coon ass niggas. That's these monkeys. They think we don't see that. That's like that all over society. These fucking jobs everywhere. They got these coon ass niggas set up so they won't be these damn pale faced monkeys won't be looked at as like they're racist, which they are. They got they suck ass too. Yeah, these cool nowadays a dime a fucking dozen, man.
Yeah, and I got my fault. I got this video. This so-called Chinese lady. She basically telling you what's going on about what they do when they come over here.
We as an Asian, like we heard about America and we learned that to survive in this country, we needed to align ourselves with whiteness and not blackness because we didn't want to catch that smoke.
She said we learned to align ourselves with whiteness and not blackness because we don't want that smoke, meaning they don't want the treatment that the so-called Negro is going through, man.
We heard about America and we learned that to survive in this country, we needed to align ourselves with whiteness and not blackness because we didn't want to catch that smoke, essentially. So we aligned ourselves with whiteness, and so proximity to whiteness keeps us, quote unquote, safer. But in doing that, they can be like, model minority, if the Asians can do it, why can't you do it? And so we created a wedge as people of color against other people of color. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then like the riots in LA, the wedge there came in crazy because professionals from Asia came, but they're not allowed to be doctors here. But they can get a loan because they're proximity to whiteness. But they can only get a loan in black neighborhoods, right, where black people could not get loans. Right. So there's that automatic tension. Say we as an Asian, like we heard about America.
And they get like, you know, even that dude Charleston White, even this nigga he said, America is not for Americans, man. You know, he said these foreigners can come over here and get rights, privileges that these foreigners, that the so-called Negro man can't get, man. You know, and so America is not for Americans, it's for whoever got the most money. You know, he said North Korea are for the North Koreans. Russia is for the Russians. You know, China's for the Chinamen, Chinese, so forth and so on. But America is for whoever got the money, man. You know, so even she said it. She said the Chinese learned to align themselves with whiteness and not blackness, man. Even though they're supposed to be a minority, you know, whatever, the yellow man, the brown, or what the fuck they classified it. I guess it's the Chinese, man. But she said it that, you know, they learned to align themselves with whiteness, man. So just like the Ox said, it's a privilege for them to be considered white, and it's a disadvantage for you to be be considered black. And if you look at the true definition of black, it's a negative. It's negative, man. You know,
Connotation, man.
yeah, it got a negative content to it, man.
Negative
You know?
stigma. You know, that's why it says evil, dark, wicked. If you look at these synonyms to the word black, they got all these sinister words aligned to it. And who defines you, not yourself. Some pale faced monkey. Because like I said, this color definition didn't come to existence until what? The Bacon's Rebellion in Jamestown, Virginia, man. That's the whole color scheme concept came into existence, man. Where they tried to, you know, they use that as a tactic, man, to further division, to further cause division, man. You know, then they were, oh, we're gonna call y'all color people, black and white. Prior to that, that don't exist. That's right there. Lets you know the still stronghold that these devils have on you, man. Like this information is available, man. It's taught, but yet you still got people identifying as those terms, man, knowing that it's made up. And you got these Negroes looking around like if they're not being identified as black, if you're not being identified as black, they're looking at like you nuts. Like you're not black. They're looking at you. That's how far gone these niggas around here is in society. These pale-faced monkeys got a strong hold on what? Your mental, man. You're still mentally in bondage, man.
Yeah, that's what the Lord said. He will put a yoke of iron around thy neck until he destroyed thee, man. You know, you destroyed mentally. Now the devil can take this iron rod, this iron yoke, and the chains off, because you're mentally destroyed. You know, you're mentally destroyed. You know, so this devil can take the chains off now, man. You know. So yeah, this devil can take the chains off because your mind is mentally destroyed, man. That's a part of the curse, you know.
So yeah, even these retards on the social media, that's why I said this nigga culture is at an all-time low. That's why you got retards on social media now getting clout, because there's an image out here that all these niggas trying to portray. What is some tough guy, some gangster, and the self-proclaimed and the Edomites, you know, pretty much put these wanna-be entertainers, rappers, they're giving them the ammunition to project their lifestyle, which these other rappers, you know, made it known that they have these meetings, these record executives have these meetings and say, hey, we want you to push this gangster lifestyle culture. If not, your ass ain't gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? So this lifestyle of being some gangster in society is perpetuated by what? The self-proclaimed white man, man. That's why a lot of these niggas around here mentality is fucked up now, you know, because these self-proclaimed white people and this using entertainment as a weapon for them, man. That's why there's mass incarceration. You know, they can justify locking you up because they see that you're trying to portray an image that they're help perpetuate, man. They're paying to pretty much destroy a nation of people, man. You know, so this information now, that's why you got retards on social media now claiming that they're intellectual and they know things now, because that's that still deterioration of what? The so-called black image, man. You got these retards, which I would never mention these niggas, these clowns' names. I would never mention, not on camera anyway. Not to give them any type of recognition, man. These jokers is beneath. I'm like, I don't even know how the fuck. Like, there's no relevance for these motherfuckers to even utter, man.
I feel like that at certain times. At certain times, I just feel like, you know, just to let you know, even these retards in the world got some knowledge, man. You know, got some type of understanding. You know, because some things are evident. Just like the word is saying, man. Some things are evident. You know, and there's no denying it. You can't deny certain things, man. You know. Yeah, so that's the only reason why, like I say, because like I say, like even this lost nigga here, you know, even he knows something, man. You know, because it's evident. It's right there, man. Like, you can't deny it. You know, that's, you know.
But through the technology of Esau, he can make any nitwit out of being a genius. But like I said, I'll Google, what's that damn nigga name? Beetlejuice? That retarded looking nigga. They trying to say this motherfucker is I seen some information. They were saying this motherfucker is the smartest motherfucker in the world, man. This damn joker that looked like he'd been riding the short bus when he was going to school, you know, a fucking retard. There, according, I saw information saying that motherfucker was the smartest like his IQ like 700 or something. You know what I'm saying? They saying they trying to profess this motherfucker the smartest motherfucker in the world, man. This retarded actor nigga named Beetlejuice, by the stage name Beetlejuice, man. There's information out there saying this motherfucker is the smartest motherfucker where his IQ is 700, but yet, and he was being compared to the fucking Bill Gates, the goddamn Elon Musk. They said Elon Musk like what, 170, 180 IQ. But this motherfucker's a billionaire, right? But you got this nigga, their profession have a 700 IQ, but this nigga ain't even a millionaire, man. This motherfucker at least is 1,000 there, man. He may have a couple 100,000, you know, if at best. But you got all this smarts, but you broke. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, if that's the case, being smart in this devil society doesn't equate to anything. If you trying to profess this nigga is being the smartest motherfucker in the world, man, a fucking retard, man. But that's through what? The manipulation of Esau Edom, even this Ethan Hawking. They were trying to say at one point he was a damn cripple that can't talk. All you hear is a robotic voice. You don't know who's behind that voice, man. And then trying to equate that to him, he can connect mentally. the neural link was already, I guess, was already here. He can connect mentally with a computer, and whatever his thoughts, the computer can be projected through a voice that you can hear, all by this dude's mind. So I guess the neural link was already here, man. You know, and they're trying to say we're going through trials and try to perfect. If they're trying to say that, right? How the fuck this dude Ethan Hawking, at one point they try to say this crippled retard was the smartest joker alive. At one point, I was hearing. How can he, with the capacity of his mind through technology, right, use a computer to make his thoughts come through a machine, you know, where you can hear his thoughts through voice, man. If I'm explaining it correctly, man. If he's able to do it, the technology is already perfected. If that's what they're trying to say, but no, that's the this devil know he can do that because he got the masses of you people believing anything he say. I could say this fucking cripple is the smartest motherfucker on the planet, and what you hear, this motherfucker laid up in a wheelchair, can't move, you know, can't talk, pretty much brain dead, pretty much, man. He's trying to, he can convince you that this joker's the smartest motherfucker in the world, man. You don't know who's behind that voice, man. You know, but that's how deceptive this devil is, man. So like I was saying, if this nigga got a 700 IQ, being smart doesn't really benefit you in the world. To me, with like you said, you got somebody that like they were saying, the Elon Musk and these jokers IQ is 170, 180. This motherfucker got 700, but they billionaires. This nigga barely 1,000 there, man. Get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? So you say you can't come up with something clever enough to make you at least a millionaire, at least. You know, get out of here, man. You can't come up where you can finance and turn your little bit of money to make it benefit, nah, because the joint don't make sense, man. That's that devil's trickery, man, because we know this is his society, man.
I got a piece of this Isaiah 47:10. It says, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me." Verse 11, it says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee, that thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." Verse 12, it says, "Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail." So that's what this devil do. He operating witchcraft and sorcery, man. And technology. That's a source of his power, man. Just like the eye pointed out, man. He got these devices he could put in anybody and give them artificial intelligence, man. Just schizophrenically put thoughts in their head. This is the answer. Say this, say that. That's this devil and his witchcraft. And then they could just sit back while somebody that's really learning, they got these retards that just wireless connect to somebody that's learning, and they just sit there and try to soak in their knowledge. That's the level these devils on, man. You can sit there and be studying, be diligent in your studies, and they got these witches and warlocks just sitting here trying to wirelessly connect unto you and get your knowledge, man. Just trying to memorize it. What he's saying, what he's doing. This devil got that capability, man. I seen it. Because there was a military program that was putting these nanobots in mice, and they had one mice with a nanobot in them to do this obstacle course, and then they linked them up to another rat in a whole different city, and it took them a while to navigate the obstacle course. It took them some time, maybe I'd say 2 weeks or something. And the other mouse that this mouse was linked up to by these nano chips wirelessly, he knew how to do the obstacle course through the thoughts of the other rat, man. It didn't take them no time. The rat knew it automatically, man. So this devil got that capability. That's why he do these experiments. He use mice, monkeys, animals, and then they put it in man. So we already figured out how to do it. Then they put it in man. It's already figured out.
Yeah, they unwillingly, and some of these people are willing participants for these experiments, man. They already
patients.
They already been experimenting. They already been experimenting on people, human beings, but they just want to, put in the light, so they want to act like, we've been doing it on animals first before we testing on humans. But they've been testing things on humans without some of them without your willing consent. Like they had dropped some goddamn nerve agent or some goddamn bio warfare in society.
Sure.
And then sit back and see
they drop mosquitoes down.
Sit back and see the outcome without people unaware what's going on, man.
You've been experimenting. That's what this medicated thing they told you to take. That was an experiment, mandatory. That was experiment. So yeah, they was doing that since the 1950s. It's called germ wars. You can look that up. In the 1950s, they was spraying germs down on the population to see how it affect the population, man. They were dropping germs down by planes, like they do the chemtrails, but they were dropping germs down on unsuspected civilians, man. They did it in public areas like train stations. They dropped germs on the train stations, public transportation, to see how it affect the people without your consent or acknowledge or knowledge, man. You know, that's what these devils do, man. You know, they did that with mosquitoes. They had these mosquitoes that they developed, and then they just let them out on a community. The community didn't know nothing about it, man. They were trying to see how these mosquitoes would affect the people. So that's this devil in this technology, man. You know, pseudoscience. You know, he's beginning a God complex to create these things, man. You know, these everyday pale face pasty bastards. They got to do their job as the devil. Yeah. You hear that? You hear that? Who believes that? Damn fucking devils, man. The facts are online, man. The facts are out there. You know, we don't make nothing up. We don't assume anything that we say. Yeah, that's what these regular fucking pasty faggots, as the whole nation of wicked, the whole nation of Esau, Edom, are wicked. So they got to play their part, man. You know.
Yeah, like I was mentioning earlier,
weirdos got schizo devices in their head and shit.
Somebody with intellect, you know, they can make a retard out of a genius. If somebody with intellect, they're trying to interfere through this man-made technology with your thought process, man. Will try to, you know, when you speak, try to disrupt, you know, your verbal capacity, man. So your words won't come out as fluent as they should be, you know, because I experience that on a daily basis from these damn devils, man. You know, they keep interfering with your thought process, man, because these devils got the technology, because they on board with what? Because that's what these devils still lusting for, to have complete control of you, man, so they can prance their monkey ass around you like they really somebody and you're less than them, where actuality, they're nothing more than leeches, man. They're sucking on how to, they're leeches. What a leech main survival is feeding off their host, man. That's what these Edomites are, man. They're like leeches, man. You know, they can't survive unless they only how they can survive is on their host, man. That's how these devils operate, man. But they want to prance around like they the one is contribute to the progress of society in this whole. Well, I made a video where there was this politician, like this somebody, you know, bringing the light. There was this politician, and he slipped up and said the truth. Said something about these so-called African, these damn, you know, even though we know they ain't even our people scattered amongst these heathens, but we're not the Africans, which are Hamites. But he said this so-called white politician here in the U.S. I can't think of the state. I made a lesson on it a couple of days ago. He stumbled and said the truth. He said we're finding out ways we can continue to exploit Africa. Then he was like, I'm sorry, explore. What is this? The 1600s? We were gonna, you know what I mean? Oh, we still continue to figure out ways how we can continue to exploit Africa. He said, I mean explore Africa. Nah, that's what they're been doing, man. They've been exploiting all these other countries, man. That's why you got the BRICS nations, man. A lot of these countries are fed up with these devils, man. You know, and they're gonna try to act like, oh, you must be anti-American. Nah, I'm anti wickedness, man. And that's who this society. That's what this society is ran by. These wicked ass Edomites, man.
Yeah, and I gotta
they think you're supposed to be. You think you're supposed to be pro oppression, man. These devils right here is still oppressing people. And like I said, to neglect that, to deflect that, they got their nigger picks around here, man. No, we not. You must be doing something wrong. That's the only reason why you as a so-called black person can't succeed, because you must be a criminal. Because everybody else that trying to stand up to these devils, he's trying to incriminate, man. And all these coons that going along with his program, he gonna throw them little crumbs. Like I was saying that on TV. I don't know why I'm here. This nigga, he's an retired football player. I don't know this nigga name. I don't know why I'm here, but I just know I'm here to not serve the people, but I'm here to serve you. He talking to Trump.
Yeah, I got a precept for what you said about this damn politician that said they gonna exploit Africa. I mean, exploit Africa. I mean, explore Africa. Yeah, this is on Job 15:5, just like George Bush did. The invasion, what he said, the invasion of Iraq, the ungodly invasion of Iraq. I mean, Ukraine. That's what they be saying behind closed doors, man. This is Job 15:5. It says, "For thy mouth utter thine iniquity," right? Like for thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own tongue condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee. So that's what it is. He told on himself, man. These devils that's how they talk behind the scenes. We're gonna exploit, we're gonna do this, we're gonna go, we're gonna invade, kill these people, we're gonna take their land, they're gonna take their resources. Right? That's how these devils do behind the scenes, man. This is Psalm 64:1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity," man. So that's what they do behind the scenes, man. That's what they do behind the scenes, man. They come up with these plans in his own tongue. He slipped up his own tongue. The Lord made him do that, man. Make these devils expose themselves, man. Their true agenda comes out. They speak it.
Yeah, their true intentions come out, man. And that's the method of what behind this slogan that this administration that's in play now was rallying behind. What? Make America great again. I got a precept. This is the book of Job 22:5. It says, "Is not thy wickedness great, and thy iniquities infinite," man? You know what I'm saying? That's how they're gonna make America great again, by what? Continue to exploit people, oppression, bring that symbolism that they're superior and everybody else is inferior, man. That's how they can make this place great again, man. And that's what this dude and his administration, all of them actually, all these administrations, man, Obama's and all this conflict between this pale face and this damn Obama nigga character, all that is theater play, man. You know what I'm saying? Theatrics, man. That's all that is, a act. They know what it is. Some damn pale face got to be in opposition with some damn so-called black face, man. That's the tone here in America, man. And they're just in this theater play, man. But behind the scenes, these jokers damn are well acquainted with each other, man. Get along with each other, man. It's just theatrics for you simple ass people, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue on Psalm 64:3. Psalm 64:2. It says, "He hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. Right? So that's what's going to happen. But this is the point, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right? So the Lord is making their own tongues to fall upon themselves, man. You know, but that's what this devil do, man. He do these secret councils, these meetings that you don't know about, the Bilderberg, for example, these summit meetings, you know, these closed doors government meetings. That's when they go over their plans, man. The WEF, World Economic Forum meetings, Davos, wherever these devils be holding these secret meetings, man. They talk. They group together and talk about their agendas of world domination, man. What we need to do, their plans. And then sometimes the Lord make these devils make their tongue to fall upon themselves, man. They speak out what their true intentions are, man. You know. But like I said, these damn Edomites, even to the everyday, they gotta do their job as the wicked and make it seem the facts are what they try to say: disinformation, misinformation, conspiracy theory. It's a lie. They making shit up. Ha 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 ha. They gotta play their part of being the devil, man. But the whole nation is wicked, you know. But like I said, man, the information is out. You know, the World Wide Web, the information is out, man. You know, and all these damn weirdos and schizos and homos, they teaching each other, you know. They practice witchcraft, man. They practice this shit. Fucking dope head, dope addicts. They sit around on their ass popping dope, popping drugs, snorting goddamn, smoking crack, watching damn pedophilia, fucking homo, watching pedophilia, and then come out when it's convenient. Should I come out now? Let's come out. While this your government, you know, by the words of the elites, applying world domination, man. You know, and these damn regular retards just doing the obvious shit, popping dope, watching child paraphernalia, fucking homo, and coming out when it's convenient and playing these fucking mind games and shit, man. That's why they got they want a whites only community, and what they want, they even want these damn sexual deviants. They don't want them in. That's just like them, of their race. These pro-Trumpers, they want this whites only community, and what they want, these sexual goddamn freaks, pedophiles, and fucking HMOs. They want them out of. They don't want them included, man. Along with you niggas and you Jewish people, they don't want you included in their own white communities, man. Yeah, because that's what these devils is, trying to promote confusion. He got to say something, right? I don't want no pedos in here, or no tranny fannies. You know what I'm saying? To promote themselves, like, cause who the fuck want that? We don't want them in our community neither. We know that's abomination. We know that's demonic. So to act like they're doing something right, they try to throw that in the mix. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you, because they know them devils know that they know that ain't right anyway. So they want to state that we don't want no pedos in or no tranny fannies. Neither we want you black trying to go. They try to act like that's supposed to be equated with you, because they want these damn devils, which is these ish people, these damn sexual deviants. They want all that around you, so-called Negroes, man. They want y'all to be involved, or the so-called black community to be involved, consistent of that nature, man. So they want to act like the reason why they can justify them. They can justify them starting their community, and y'all should be together because we anti all y'all, so y'all should team up. They say, oh, these races don't like gays, pedos, blacks, or Jews. So all y'all should team up and join together. Because that's this devil started confusion, man. Knowing that us as a nation shouldn't be with these ish, which are, they're our enemies anyway. Them ish people and the rest of that stuff they trying to categorize, that's abomination. We don't want that in our community neither. These pedos, nor these tranny fannies. Because we know that's an abomination, but by these devils that are trying to say they're a race group and we want to start our own white community, to further cause confusion, they want to start saying we anti this, we anti that, to make these simple Negroes think that if they're against y'all, we all should team up and be one. We're gonna live in harmony. Nah, we don't want that in our community neither, man. But that's these devil's tactics, man. They're the author of confusion, man. The Lord is not the author of confusion. They are, man. They write, prescribe it, promote it, pass it. That's what these devils do, man. But that's the reason why they say the things that they say. Saying that they anti this, they anti that, we anti-gay. Really, their whole organization is about that, man. They anti-pedo, yeah, right. A lot of them hold that, if they're not because they trying to act like they trying to bring Christianity back. So that's what they said too. In these not only white communities, they want Christian values and all this shit, man. Because that's their cover up, man. They act like they honest people. They Bible believers, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. They the fucking wicked, man. This devil. Everybody knows. Like I said, a lot of these other countries, they're not with this deviant lifestyle, man. These sexual deviant lifestyles that Esau promotes, even in Europe. These other countries, they not with it, man. So they try to say, they look at it, they examine the facts. They say, well, a lot of people already know that this, so we're gonna act like we're gonna bring back some Christian values that we don't accept that, because the Bible, the Lord speaks against that, man. But this devil promoted, man. On the other side, he promoted like with another branch of them, like these liberals, but they're still so-called white people, man. And that's what they do. These damn fucking these goddamn pro-Trumpers, Republicans, they do the same shit, man. But they clever at hiding it. They hide it more, man. But then you got these fucking they flamboyant out in the open liberals. They act like if you say something against me, if you say I'm doing public indecency because I want to strut around naked in front of little children, you oppressing me, you discriminating against me, you got a hatred towards me. When there's got a law that you can't be, it's public indecency, man. If I can't strut around naked in front of little kids and babies, you must want to kill me. You must hate me. You discriminating against me. That's how these devils try to justify their wickedness, man. But yeah, they want to spread it, like in these all white communities, they want to spread it in every state, and not only in America. They say they want to spread it internationally, man. Meaning what? All over the world. They already got a community like that in South Africa, man. So they said not just in America, they want an only white community in America, in every state of America, but they want it internationally, man. And like I said, they already got a white only community or area in South Africa that you can't work there, you can't own there, you can't, if you're not white, you can't work there, you can't own anything there, you can't do nothing in that area if you're not white, man. Yeah, that's what they did. They were successful doing it here, so they're trying to spread that ideology throughout the continent for what? In efforts to what? Gain global dominance, man. So their invaders invaded another country and then trying to kick the so-called native people there out and say, nah, you can't live here. You know what I'm saying? That's what these devils promote, man.
Just like they did America.
Yeah, this is the epitome of it. They was like, we successful here. Why can't we do it throughout the other globes? You know what I'm saying? Throughout the globe, the other nations, especially that continent Africa, man. You know.
Yeah, we're speaking of repentance, man, for the nation of Israel. That's why we are out here, man. Talking of repentance, man. Yeah, we are talking for repentance of the nation of Israel, man. You know, because that's the devil. I mean, the Lord is going to bring destruction, man. You know,
Yeah, but before I know I'm back and forth, but on that subject of I was mentioned earlier about there was voting. All the nations on a global scale were voting for human necessity, meaning food and water. And the two countries that voted nay was the United States and the fake Israeli state. I got a precept of that. This is the book of Job 22:7. It says, "Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry," man. See, these are the times that we're coming into, man. These devils are food, water, shelter. They're making that's not a basic necessity now, man. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to hoard resources, man. So what? Have you succumbed to their demands? So okay, you hungry? It's not a human right for us to feed you. So if you want bread, water, whatever, you're going to have to do what I say, which is what? Get the MOTB, man. So these devils are fitting the stage, or set the stage. Let me say that for the MOTB to come in, man. This great reset that some people coined it. You know, mainly the elites amongst Esau, they're seeking possession of all you people, man. Especially in modern society, man. In today's countries where they have modern society, these devils are seeking to control you people, man. You know, repeat that again. This is Job 22:7. It says, "Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth." Who is that? Esau, Edom, man. "And the honorable man dwelt there," which is the elect, man. Let me read the Amplified version. Job 22:8. He says, but the land is possessed by a man with power, and the favored and honorable man dwell in it," which is the elect, man. "Thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear trouble thee, or darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of waters cover thee." And let me go into what that word water means, man. This is the strong definition.
Kasa.
This is water.
Strong's H 3680. Kasa.
And it says kasa, the outline of biblical usage. Let me go back. I got the wrong one. This is the right one. Slaki.
Strong's H 4325. My.
That's what water is. And it says the outline of biblical usage. C, it says of danger, violence, man. So that's what's covering this devil, man. That's why everywhere, especially now, you see a bunch of violence and danger surrounding this devil, man. Like they were saying, these other countries, man, on a global scale, they're positioning themselves for what? For war, man. You know, they're positioning themselves. So that's what covered this devil, man. Violence. They saying, you know, it's already known that out of the 200 some years, 225, 200 something like that, existence of the United States, well over 90% of the United States existence, there was occupied or preoccupied in war, man. So that's all this devil has been doing since he's been here, man. War with people, causing violence, man. You know why? Because this devil is doing something that he don't supposed to be doing. If he was at peace, everything what he was doing as he's trying to project himself in society, we upstanding, law-abiding citizens. Why are you at war 90% of the time? The United States is in existence, man. You've been preoccupied in war, man. That right there lets you know this devil is doing something wrong, man. If you was at peace and what you're doing wasn't wrong, there's nothing wrong with what this devil was doing. He won't be occupied with war, man. He won't over 90% of this place existence will not be preoccupied fighting wars, man. It involved in war, actually orchestrating wars, man. Continuing on, Job 22 and 13, it says, and thou sayest, how doeth Yahweh know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven, man. So that's what this devil convinced, that the Lord actually don't believe in the Most High, man. And he's like, no one can see. How can the Lord see what we doing here? He's in heaven and we on earth, man. That's what this devil convinced himself, because what? Out of all this treacherous, these atrocious atrocities that he have done, not only here in Babylon the Great, mainly to the children of Israel, but throughout the world, he hasn't been punished for it, man. You know, because like the precept said, he think that he will never be in adversity, man. No one will be in opposition to him. He don't have no worthy opponent, man. I will be victorious with everything that my conquest, man. Whatever I go out to conquer, man, I will be victorious, man. Yeah, that's this devil's mentality, man. I will never be in adversity, man. Continuing on, book of Job 22 and 15, has thou markest the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundations were overflown with a flood, which said unto Yahweh, depart from us, and that, so like it, which said unto Yahweh, depart from us, and what can the Almighty do for them, man? That's how they feel, man. They said, the Lord depart from us, man. You know, So they're not one with the Most High, man. You know, like the I brought out earlier, the Most High is not in all their thoughts and all their ways, man. What prepared for you, man. They cast the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Almighty, Yahweh, by Yahweh Shai behind their back, man. They say, Lord, they would tell the Lord, depart from them, man. What they feel that they're doing fine without the Most High by what? Doing the wickedness that they're doing now, man. We're doing fine without the Most High. Why would we join with the Most High while we're, living it up in their wicked society as we see it today, man? That's how these devils think, man. That's why you see a lot of this abomination, these weirdos, these alphabet niggas, schizophrenics, smirking with themselves, think because I'm observing my surroundings, you actually like you lusting after they retarded ass. Like I said, if you in that lifestyle, these alphabet people, tranny fannies, these gays, you retarded for real, man. There's something wrong with you mentally, man. You are mentally retarded, man. You know, and I just pretty much, who's convincing them? These pale-faced monkeys, man. That's why they're like I said, they're the ones that setting the scene, the stage for these homo Negroes to roam around them, man. You know, they're telling them, oh, it's okay. Hey, come out now, show your face around them, because you're the epitome of masculinity, and then they try to cause confusion, because they're allowing these retards to the progress in society, acting like we ain't got no problem with you. Yeah, because these pale faces don't got no problem with these homos. You know why? Because that's what they are. They're the biggest homos on the planet. That's why they don't got no problem. And they looking at you like he's the one that got a problem with you, not us. Let's unite. Let's join forces. These jokers are wicked, man. I guess these jokers stopped going to church now. I guess they stopped believing in Jesus. I guess they stopped believing in Jesus, trying to show their face out here on the weekend when they know we out here. Why they came out here yesterday and said, oh, they ain't here, stay out here a few minutes and left. Yeah, they be back Sunday. Around what time? Around 9 o'clock.
That's why they're supposed to have a leash, man. That's why you're supposed to have a leash on your goddamn dog. You know, for the people walking around here with damn pit bulls and vicious dogs with no leash on them, man. You don't see these park rangers, these goddamn Power Rangers nowhere. If that shit was your ass, they be waiting on your ass. They be waiting on you to come in the park.
Right around the corner. As soon as they see it, they're like, oh. But anyway, that's what they think, man. Joe 22:17.
Yeah, they trying to confuse, acting like you're a part of these damn demo weirdo parties, man. I ain't no fucking Democrat nor Republican, man. You know, make that statement, man. I'm not a Democrat nor I'm a Republican, man. You know?
The biggest gang in society. They're the ones that what gang members do. One of their tactics is marking territory. That's why they got blue state, red state. They're the biggest, talking about red and blue. They're the biggest gangs on the planet.
That's why they trying to act, man. I don't know, these devils, these demons, all they do is cause confusion in this land. That's what Babylon means, confusion. So all they do is cause confusion in the land of darkness, man. You know, that's all they trying to cause. So this land is dark, meaning there's no truth here. The scripture says this is the land of lies and robbery. This bloody city, which is full of lies and robbery, means darkness. And they just try to cause more confusion whenever they can, man. You know, I'm not a fucking punk ass Democrat or a punk ass Republican, man. But both of you parties are going to get destroyed, and both parties are ran by Esau, these Edomites, man. But they try to act like it's a difference. You know, when there's no difference, man. All these, like I said, all these Republicans do, conservatives, all they try to do is hide their wickedness more, man, than these damn liberals, which they out in the open with. You know, that's the only difference. Just like this Trump and this scandal going on with this Epstein, you know, hiding it, publicly admitting to it, but then publicly denying it, you know. So like I said, man, these Republicans, conservatives, all they do is they try to hide their wickedness, and these liberals, Democrats, so they're out in the open with it, man. And the scripture talks about that. Woe to them that seek to hide, you know, in the dark, and woe to you that sin and openly, something like that, man. I got to get that precept. I've been trying to find it.
I'm gonna continue on with Job 21. I don't know if you were looking for it. I'm gonna continue on with Job 21. This precept, it says let's go with Job 21:13. It says they spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. That's the Edomites, man. They spend their days in wealth, man. Mainly these elites. It says, therefore they say unto Yahweh, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him, man? So that's what you devils have, man. They spend their days in wealth, man. You know, up until the day that they go into the grave, man. Like I said, these pale-faced monkeys tell these coon-ass, retarded damn niggas to come around acting like somebody interested in them, man. Ain't nobody interested in you. Go with your so-called white boyfriend. I don't know why you coming around us, because somebody put these damn coon niggas up to it. We don't care about your lifestyle, man. You know, we just know it's wicked. We don't want nothing to do with you. And then try to act like we low key like these damn fucking retards. Fuck no. I despise you. Downright motherfucking hate your guts, really. Because you wicked, man. Because these motherfucking niggas know deep in their soul what they doing is wrong, man. But they want to still just play some little fuck game like they can't realize what's going on. And it's a benefit. Why? Because these pale-faced monkeys promote it, man. So that's what they is. They want you to be like them. So to be accepted in this society, especially they like these niggas that act feminine, man. So it put them more at ease. They try to come around, little perverse niggas trying to come around, get some little smirk. Cause you happen to look in their direction. Now they act like, oh, you must like me cause you looked in my direction. Get out of here, man. These jokers are gone, man. Playing these mind games orchestrated by who? Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Through this wicked technology, man. Simon the sorcerer. And like I said, that's all these. What's the image with these niggas? Because they are homo or not. All these damn niggas think they tough guys. Niggas like a goddamn marshmallow, man. That's these niggas MO. Let's be, because you so-called identify as being black. If you're a homo or not, you're supposed to be some tough guy. Anybody scared of you clown ass niggas? Niggas are suckers, man. So my apologies for the rant. But that's the when these jokers, when these demons walk around us, we can feel, you know, they're intense. And they let it be known playing these mind games, man. You know, there ain't nobody interested in you, man. That's why this joker left, especially that damn nigga to be coming around here with this white car. That's why he left, because I mentioned that shit. Like I said, this nigga, he show up, because we here. What time of the day they here? That these niggas show up, man. Somebody told their ass, man. Like I said, we're not here for your benefit. We was out here doing the work before these niggas even showed their face. These niggas somebody just told them to come outside, show your face now. Stop coming to the park around this time during these days, and then these niggas just show up because they know we here. Like we here for your benefit. We're not here for your benefit, man. We're here because we commanded to do this. Repeating again, Job 21 and 14, it says, therefore they say unto Yahweh, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him, man? So these devils know that nothing, and they're convinced in their mind by following the ways of the Almighty, they're not going to profit, man, because they're the wicked, man. So doing things righteous is no profit to them, man. But they want to promote equality. Yeah, you can live out your American dreams. Everybody, there's equality here, freedom and justice for all. That's a facade, man. Like you can see these people ideology of this place, man, is contrary now, man. And they think that it's all, after this 4 years and we're gonna get another Democrat in here and everything's gonna be all right. Nah, man, it's gonna get worse and worse, man. Because regardless who is in, whichever puppet is in position right now, ultimately the agenda stays the same. They're just going about it a different way. The Democrats going about it this way, the Republicans going about it this way, but all roads ends in the same destination, man. And these people quite not have gotten it yet. They think that because I'm gonna vote Democrat or Republican, things gonna change. Mainly these niggas are what? Pro-Democrat. That's what they're trained or was taught to believe. No, man. We know what? We shouldn't vote for none of these devils, man. These devils are not our people, man. Participate in this rigged society, man. Because it's a game. It's like I bring out, it's a game to them. Say for instance, if no nigga vote, and there's a clause in the Constitution says that too. Talking about if you like, what is it? Roughly saying that there's a clause in their Constitution. If I didn't vote for you to represent me, there's no representation, man. But these people don't want to honor that, man. They want to look on paper as if everything's fair, everything's just on paper, man. But actually, it's not. But because there's a clause that says, I can't think of where it is, but there's a clause that says that in their Constitution about forced representation, man. If it's not in their Constitution, it's in their Declaration of Independence. It's one of them. Like if I didn't vote or give the consent for you to represent me, there's no representation, man. So that's why we know we shouldn't vote for these devils anyway, man. Because they're for their own interests. And then again, like I was about to mention, say for instance, if no so-called black person voted, right? Then they look at you, you should have went out here and vote. Maybe your interests might have been, been considered. That's y'all didn't vote. Now we got this jackass in office. Yeah, they're gonna always find a way to act like it was your fault, knowing that, say for instance, to run for any one of these political candidates running for office, man, they got to have finances, man. Who's backing them? Who owns these big corporate tycoon corporations, man? Let me think. Who owns them? So who can contribute numerous amount of millions of dollars to their cause, man? That's why a lot of these other candidates drop out of the race early. You know why? Because they don't have the funds, man. They don't have the support. And the ones that do have the support, meaning monetarily, are able to continue. So regardless of how you look at it, these devils gonna come out on top, but they're gonna make you believe that's because, oh, you didn't go out there and vote. That's the reason why things are the way they are. Because I seen a television show. It was I forgot what it was, not a television show, but a podcast or something. And this so-called black guy was saying that how many black people didn't vote in the state of Georgia. Some over X amount of black people didn't vote. Think about it, if they would have voted, we would have had Trump. X amount of black people didn't vote in this state. Think about it, if they would have went out and voted, we would have had like they always want to act like it's you because you didn't do something. Nah, man, that dude would have been don't care how many. See how many votes like Hillary Clinton got. She overwhelmingly got the majority popular vote, but how he got in there? Through the electoral college, electoral votes, man. So they have means of putting this joker in office if they want, man. They have ways, man. They will find some way to get this joker in office, man. Because technically they try to promote every vote counts, but it doesn't. That's how he won the first election. But like I said, they want you to believe that, oh, it because something that you didn't do. You the one that go out and vote. That's why he's in office.
You got these goddamn weirdos coming around from goddamn by the flock goes. Goddamn weirdos, they don't bother each other. They know each other. Weirdo ass nigga and crack. United off dope and shit. Damn, fucking linked up with these fucking retards. I ain't consent to be linked up with your retarded ass. They act like if you doing everything within your rights with your own self, you in violation. If I choose to speak, choose to think, choose to do anything that I prefer to do, they have nothing to do with my head. That's how these devils try to act like if you speak, it's disturbing them. They way over there and shit. You start thinking, you're disrupting what the fuck they got going on. That's this devil in this society. Everybody's linked up with computer chips, cyborgs, linked up to the cloud. They try to justify this shit. That's what these wicked ass devils trying to do. They trying to justify this oppression. So plenty of people that know what really going on. That's what this government is doing. Is they're justifying taking away your rights by the means of security. You want to be secure, you got to take away your rights. So that's how these devils are trying to justify this shit. If you want security, you gotta violate your rights and take away your rights. You have no rights to anything. And it's for the better. Like these fucking losers, weirdos monitoring you, and who they need to monitor is their president, governor, your government in general, city council, your goddamn law enforcement. That's who you need to be watching. Your military personnel,
your public servants.
Yeah, your public servants, basically. Government. That's who you need to be watching for. Fuck, you motherfuckers want to sit around and watch and observe somebody that's just a regular citizen, more or less. They watch you more than they watch these people.
So they convinced that these people hold power, but of course, like I said, you go back to the clauses in their documents, like the Constitution. The power is in the people. But yeah, these people ain't there. They're not going to do that, man. they have these what you want to say race what you want to say hate groups act like they're the ones that's gonna come in and start a militia because they said based on the Constitution we can do that, but they're gonna do it for their their agenda, for their own interests, the interest of being a color, you know. That's what they'll do. So they act like they can form some militia and then quote some Constitution. We entitled to Section 3, Article 3, Section 4, Subtitle C, to form a militia to overthrow the government. White power. That's what they'll do. They'll quote some clause in the Constitution, knowing that it's true, but they'll use it for their own interest. So everybody else to be like, nah, that's not how we should do it. Not because this hate group do it, you know, because these devils they work under deception, man. You know, because technically that is true, you know. But like I said, they have an organization like that do it under the guise of what? One group of people or race of people interest, man. They'll quote some clause from the Constitution.
I got a precept, Isaiah 29:14. It says, "Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid." You know, so that's what the Lord is doing, man. That's why these people don't know what to do. Their wisdom, the wisdom of this world, like the scripture said, is this foolishness unto the Lord. The Lord is gonna do a marvelous work among these people, man. You know, that's what this Constitution. They trying to rely on this Constitution, but they taking it away, man. You know, that's why these Edomites are in an uproar anyway. That's why this civil rights thing is gonna is building up. I mean, not civil, but this civil war thing is brewing up. They're gonna boil and spill over amongst these Edomites, man, because of this Constitution. The Lord saying, the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. You know? So they trying to say, you know, the founding fathers, they created this Constitution. You know, they relied on the constitutional values of America. And they weirdo, they relying on sorcery, witchcraft. Somebody tell them they practice this shit, damn dope things. United with these niggas and they oppressing, united off drugs and shit. And it's the same fucking retarded faces come out here every fucking time we out here, man. No matter what day it is, what time it is, the same fucking retards coming around somebody. You know, these coons and they goddamn oppressing. You know, trying to unite off drugs. United off drugs, you can do what the fuck you want. You know, as long as you don't say nothing about me. And that's a limit. You can do whatever wicked and to be factual about it. You can do what manner of wickedness you want, as long as you leave me out, man. Because they are the wicked. So wherever they are, wickedness thrives, man. You know, you know. I got this verse I was looking for, Isaiah 29. It says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel." So like, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, "Who seeth us, or who knoweth us?" Man. So that's, like I said, these conservatives. That's how they do, man. You know, They seek deep to hide their works in the dark, man. You know, their wickedness. You know, and I know there's I can't remember the verse, but it says, "Woe to them," you know, as Sodom. You know, I think that's one that sin openly. Their countenance as Sodom. I've been seeing it, but that's these liberals. Isaiah 3:9. It says, "The show of their countenance doeth witness against them. They declared their sin as Sodom, they hide it not." That's these liberals, man. Woe unto their souls, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves, man. Basically, that's these liberals, these Democrats, man. They are liberal. They out in the open with their wickedness as Sodom. You know, prance around. I'm Pride Month, that flag Proud Month. I'm proud, prancing around doing their wickedness, throwing parades. You know, out in the open. That's these liberals, man. And these damn conservatives, they seek deep. They find ways to hide their wickedness, man. You know, but destruction is going to be unto both of them, man. You know, they try to act like, you know, they want to rely on Christian values, constitutional rights. That's all BS, man. You know, and the fact of the matter about that, the Constitution is not for you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, nor is this plantation Christian religion that they practice. That ain't for them. It's Edomite supremacy, man. Like it always been. They try to bring it back to that point. You know, like the lady was demonstrating or saying, and demonstrating or saying about these only white communities. That's why they try to bring segregation back in the form of Jim Crow, whites only. At first you're gonna have whites only cities, you know, whites only towns, whites only cities, whites only states. Then you're gonna see you don't belong here. No, whites only, like the segregation movement, man. You know, like they did in segregation, Jim Crow, Black Code.
Like we mentioned earlier, the matter of Salaki Alpha, you know, but like we was mentioning earlier, before we even came out here, you know, maybe, you know, these so-called white communities, they exist prior to these people out here trying to say, do you see they're trying to make an all-white community? They have all-white communities right now that exist. You know, if you go to these certain places like you know, West Virginia, even places in Virginia, all these they have where you go into these little rural areas, the population, you know, maybe 100 people or whatever, and they consist of what? So-called white people, man. This stuff already. This stuff already exists, man. You know what I'm saying? These communities, they already have these so-called all white communities, man. You know, they had this guy, he's dedicated to publish those channels, man. He said, look, this is a so-called white guy going around showing, he said, this is an all white community. But he said within X amount of years, it won't exist because economically they can't survive, man. But nonetheless, this is before these people trying to say, oh, we're gonna live out in the wilderness and build our own community. You know what I'm saying? Acting like they're starting from scratch, you know, limited access to technology and stuff. Cause we trying to start, man, these communities already exist, man. you know, like I said, I don't know, but I saw it on social media numerous of times already, man. There's a so-called white guy, and he got a channel going around dedicated to showing these all so-called all white communities, man. He's actually saying that this is an all white community, but you know, numerous, man. So these towns already exist. Think about the Amish.
The difference is not bluntly, it's not blatantly saying this is white owned. That's the difference, man. You know, like I said, these towns are already existing, man. These only white communities, they exist in every fucking state, city around this bitch already, man. Until this gentrification came about, you know, you can see only white communities already exist. But this gentrification, they doing that just because all these foreigners are coming across the border, so they gotta make them think this is America's for everybody, it's for free. America's for everybody.
Yeah, that line,
freedom and justice for all. That BS.
Yeah, that line they pitched to them before they, you know, became United States citizens. They gotta make. Now we gotta live up. We gotta own it now. We done told
they
them.
ain't got no choice, man.
Yeah.
But it's running thin. That line's running thin. These foreigners, they see the BS, man. These foreigners see the BS, but they try to hold on. They try to clinch on to Esau, man. But that shit running thin, and it's gonna get more and more thin as time progresses, man. You know, it's gonna get more and more thin as time progresses. We don't care about this goddamn look piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's obvious it's the downfall of your kingdom by your doing. They trying to find anybody to blame it on. You know, that's what's going on. These devils trying to find somebody to blame it on, accuse whatever's going on in the world. They trying to find somebody to blame it on. And the fact of the matter is you're the reason. These Edomites, they the fucking reason. Self-proclaimed white man, they're the reason why things are the way they are. But they trying to look for a scapegoat, you know. And the more ignorant you are, the better for them, and more acceptable you are to them, man. You know, they accept these ignorant niggas, whoever else, these retarded foreigners. You know, they accept them, man, because you don't know the fact of the matter, man. You know, and all these devils can make his faces, screw up they got their faces and shit, and that's it. Punk ass goddamn Republicans, punk ass Trump thumpers hiding. I threw my damn Trump hat away and shit. Punk ass motherfucker.
Yeah, well, they had videos of these mega supporters burning the hats, man.
Yeah. And the ones that's real dedicated, what they did was, because they can do that, you know what they did? They all moved to a area by themselves, man. We all support Trump, so what we gonna do? We gonna pack up and move to the country. We gonna pack up and move to this city or town, and we all gonna live there. They can do that, man. These Edomites, they can pick up and leave at an instant. If they don't want to stay here, you know what? Tomorrow I want to go here. You know, these devils, they got that opportunity because this is their land, this is their society, and that's what a lot of them doing. You know, a lot before Trump got in the office, a lot of these pro-Trumpers, what they did, they moved to the rural areas.
Outskirts.
Yeah, they moved to the outskirts country rural areas. Hoping this guy come in, now we can bring Trump back. But they see they see that it ain't what it seemed to be. This Trump illusion of making America great ain't play out like they was hoping. So they fell back, man. Like a lot of them, like I said, a lot of them burning their hats, their memorabilia of Trump, make America great, burning it, hiding it, you know. And they try to blend in with these damn openly weirdo demos. They supposed to be at odds at one another. These pro-Democrats, these pro-Republicans, meaning these so-called white people, but you will never see them have any type of aggression towards each other, man. Because it's their society, it's their government.
monkey ass niggas. That's what we want to subscribe to. Got that monkey ass niggas trying to unite based on that other so-called black person. All right. We got anything else? We close it out. We're going to end our list before we do to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Rakakadash. This Hakim is the brother Bakalah. Lord willing, we'll be back to feed the flocks. And next time, Shalom, Barakatham, and the Bible Ball, Shalom.